Somewhere in the bowels of the city that never sleeps,
Kevin McCullough, radio host with Salem Media,
is a man also not sleeping.
Syndicated radio talk show host Kevin McCullough.
And that guy would like a word with you.
And now, a special broadcast taking on a unique problem for some very special people.
Featuring the music of Dick Tunney and the Dream in Color Orchestra.
Tonight on That Kevin Show, from Christian Solidarity International, Todd Chapman and Rob Davis. From the Independent Women's Forum, Kelsey Bowler. And singer-songwriters Torrin Wells and Natalie Grant. And now direct from Times Square, where even the world's greatest living tenor couldn't resist singing aloud amidst her concrete canyons. Here's That Kevin. And welcome into a very special edition of That Kevin Show. And it's great to have you with us. Thank you for being here. As I am well aware of my humanity and my weakness in this life, I have turned another year older today. It happens to be my birthday. Thank you very much. Don't send flowers. Don't send anything else. In fact, I'll tell you in this hour how I would prefer you to celebrate my birthday tonight if you're intending to do that at all. But I want to let you know, I was blown away this week. Now, I use New York City as kind of a cast member of my show, and I think that it is the greatest stage on planet Earth. There is no place like New York anywhere else. But one of the reasons that is so is because of what happens here, the people that cross paths and come into our lives and so forth. And just 2 nights ago, literally, announcer Dave was right, the world's greatest living tenor, Andrea Bocelli, was here. And if you were in the Times Square area, you got to see an open-air concert that he offered at no cost to the public. People just walking by were able to get it, but it was packed out. And this was all in conjunction with a brand new movie that he has coming out called The Journey with Andrea Bocelli. The Journey, it kind of mimics a historic journey that was made by 2 monks from Milan down to Rome on horseback. And as they went along, stopping in different places in the beautiful Italian countryside, they wrote these incredible musical pieces that endure to even this day. But Andrea Bocelli, in kind of the aftermath of the pandemic and kind of the discouragement that everyone was feeling in the process, he said, at least initially, it's only set up to run for 4 nights, April 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, I guess 5 nights, and 6th. So you could get your opportunity to see it in any of those. But at this concert afterwards, they did a screening of the film, and I got to run into some really cool friends. We just had him on the show a couple of weeks ago, Michael W. Smith. He was not in Hawaii where he did his interview with us, but he was right here in New York. He did some stuff in the open air concert as well. And Torrin Wells, who is going to be on with us a little bit later tonight with a very important song about a very important topic I'm going to get into in just a second. Torrin Wells was there. And they both appear in the film with Andrea Bocelli. And if you just, think that this is, going to be one of the coolest things ever, you would be correct. In fact, even public figures and others were there. My friend Andrew Giuliani, the son of former legendary New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani, and his wife were there with us. And it was just a great, great experience. It's coming to theaters April 2nd, called The Journey. But what can better explain exactly what it's like than to take just 2 minutes here to enjoy some of the music, but also for those of you watching on Biz TV and Salem News Channel and online, take a peek at the beauty that they created in this production.
One day I'll hear the laugh of children in a world where war has been banned.
One day I'll see men of all colors
our life is very short, but at the same time, it's a miracle. I decided to make this journey now because nature is the biggest miracle.
People have called the time that we're living in right now the age of fear. And so what better weapon to keep our hearts fixed on the peace of God than music?
Now, it's going to be amazing to look at when it comes to streaming options later, but I would really encourage you to see this in the theater. There's something about that aerial footage, those drone footage up on the big screen in beautiful 4K that is just breathtaking. Anyway, my bride and I loved it, and I think it's going to be phenomenal, and it's something very encouraging and uplifting here as we are moving into the time of Passion and Holy Week. You want to elevate your thoughts. You want to elevate your spirit. The journey with Andrea Bocelli was something that definitely did that for my bride and myself this week. Now, as we said at the outset of this segment, this is a special show tonight because it is my 53rd birthday. I've done something on the last few years here on the weekends that I would like to continue with That Kevin Show. This is the first year that Kevin Show has been on the air, but from the very beginning, I would love it if we could do something unique. And instead of celebrating me or saying anything good about me, saying anything special about me, my gift and goal would be to let's do something for those who are truly in need. And if you know anything about the condition of the world, you may have heard somewhere that we have a greater problem with human trafficking and human slavery than at any point in human history. There are more people enslaved right now. In places like New York, it may be a child chained to a concrete wall in a basement somewhere. In places like Las Vegas, it may be young women forced out of other options that are literally being told by men that they are owned and that they have to work for them. But in places where it's not nearly as sophisticated as the U.S., you have child indentured servants in the Southeast, in India and Pakistan. You have human slaves in places in Africa that are there for spoils of war. They were trophies, if you will, in battles that took place. And then in other places like in China and in Azerbaijan, you have whole people groups that are captive, whether it be the Uyghurs or whether it be the Armenians that are in Azerbaijan. These are people that are being systematically starved, frozen out, besieged by governments. These captives globally add up to more than 50 million people. And tonight, for my birthday, for this birthday weekend, my request would be that we do something to push back. This year, I'm hoping that we will liberate 192 human slaves. And the organization that I've been working with for over a decade to see this done is Christian Solidarity International. And they have been working very, very hard in a place called Sudan that is really amazing and doing amazing work to get slaves out of captivity from their slave owners and into lives of freedom for themselves. Friends, throughout the night tonight, my special guests, my musical guests, we're going to point you to a phone number, 888-342-1010, 888-342-1010. You change the world for one of these slaves when you call that number. And I'll tell you how as the night goes on. It's Kevin McCullough, a very special broadcast. Stay with us on this birthday night show.